What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to another live. I know I kind of been off track for a few days, but it's been a busy week for me, man. It feel like I just skipped over last weekend and just been working 2 straight weeks in a row without no time off. I can't even remember the last time I gave y'all a video, and I'm pretty sure I did within the last couple of days, but that's just how crazy this week have been for me. I just been wanting it to slow down so I could just catch up with things and come back on with another one. But for those of you who come in, I'm just gonna ask you, can you please like the video? Please, please like the video. And I want to thank y'all for watching. So I want to talk about how to handle a silent smear campaign. And a lot of times we talk about the smear campaign, but the silent smear campaign is a whole lot different, in my opinion, based off my experience dealing with a narcissist. Because when I think of a silent smear campaign, the thing that comes to mind is when a narcissist, like they take the time out to slander you, to make up lies about you, to start rumors about you, in hopes to tarnish your character. They're so desperate to get people to look at you. They want people to look at you in a bad way. They want people to see that you're nothing like what they thought. And they know their target audience. They go-to audience is those who they can control their narrative with and keep them from questioning things. Because it's important to question everything, even if you don't do it out loud, for clarity. Because they want people to turn against you. The goal is to turn people against you. It causes prejudgment and misjudgment. The narcissist's goal is to get this, they want to use this old crazy making tactic. Something that can kind of control your mind, have your mind wondering. First, they got to get you in a state of confusion in order for this smear campaign, to really work in the first place. So they're they're good at doing that kind of stuff at times. And the tactic is to get a point across to you that I'm gonna show them how I can really get down. And that's like a warning sign from the narcissist. But the difference between a smear campaign and a silent smear campaign is when a narcissist, they start a campaign to make it obvious that they out to get you. They're launching this vicious attack to punish you. Whereas the silent smear campaign is somewhat like you've figured it out with your good instincts. Like it tells you everything you need to know based off how people start to act with you out the blue. And when you put two and two together, you figure out that the narcissist is behind it all. But there's a way to handle both smear campaigns. And the best way to handle it is not to entertain it in a certain way. You have to deal with the smear campaign like a chess move. You have to use strategy. You have to be called upon first. Like, go with your move. You have to go with a certain approach, but you have to wait your turn for that. Now, this is my opinion based off how I've learned to deal with it. But you don't want to entertain a narcissist unless you are confronted by them. Because when you know the narcissist is up to no good based off how people treating you, you already know it's them. But sometimes you just kind of, you got to let things just play out and trust and believe it will all come to light in due time. They might even start to tell on themselves based off the fact that they were expecting a different outcome. They needed you to react to everything that was going on during the time they were setting it up, during the time that you were a hot topic. And then it kind of makes them look like a credible informant, with the false narrative that they created. I'm sorry, y'all, if y'all hear like music, like they're playing music real loud, like too loud. I'm on mute just for a second. Y'all hold on just for a second because I don't want to get a copyright on this. Okay, y'all, I'm so sorry about that. I'm back. Okay, so where did I leave off at? I was saying, shoot, how to respond to the smear campaign. So you don't want to confront any narcissist. You don't want to confront anyone because, you're upset, you're angry. That's what the narcissists want you to do. So never confront a narcissist, even based off a smear campaign. Just let time pass, let things play out. Because pressure even bust pipes with a narcissist, and they're gonna get tired of you just kind of sitting on it and not saying much. So they're gonna get to wondering like, how are they handling this so well? Like their plan is not going as they want it to, you know. So you don't need to confront the narcissist about this false narrative that they created. They know what they've done, and you know how they operate. Now, this is when you know what the narcissist is up to, when your gut instinct tells you they're all behind it, you know, because see, they need things to make sense for them so that they don't have to feel guilt for what they have done to you. Um, the narcissist, they gonna always need you to over explain yourself and claim innocence. I didn't do that. What are you talking about? They need you to lose your mind behind this dirty game that they're playing, you know. They play psychological games, and the crazy part is they have psychological issues. That's the gag, you know. So they need you to prove yourself all the time and make yourself clear while they sit back and just laugh and watch you kind of just struggle with it, you know. And where we go wrong a lot is when we fall in that trap of doing just that. Just know that the narcissist, they behind it. So the best way to clear your name from the smear campaign is just to wait and see what the narcissist will say and respond to your silence. Like I said, if they start an argument, they're desperate for a reaction out of you. And within that argument, don't be surprised if they bring up stuff like, that's why people are talking about you now, or and stuff like that. That's why people are calling you crazy now, because look how you acting. See, they try to get you in a place of going back and forth with them. It's like they try to bait you into that moment just to say, look at her, y'all, look at her. See, I told y'all she was crazy, stuff like that. Old tricks. That's the old tricks of the narcissist. And so, again, they desperate for a reaction. And when you finally give them what they want, that's when you set yourself back. You were doing good when you were quiet. And that's the best way to be. Just be quiet. You ain't got to tell them nothing. You don't got to tell them how you feel. What you're doing is dirty. Now, you can tell them that in private, but I wouldn't say it in front of the crowd, not in front of the audience that they have created to make you put on a show, because that's what they want to do, so that they don't have to feel the guilt of knowing they set all this up again. And I just can't say that enough. If I'm repeating myself, I'm sorry. I can't say that enough, you know? So just don't be surprised if they bring that type of stuff up to people. Well, look how you act, and that's why people are talking about you now. They always use that. Like if people just start talking about you out the blue, that's when that light bulb goes off like, wait a minute. Because I was just cool with this person just a week ago, or me and this one go way back, so why would they just turn on me like that? Like, why are people acting strange with me all in a sudden? The narc is all behind it, you know? You got to look at it like that, because that's what it is. Um, so again, they live off the lies and that they've spread it. They wait on people for to really push the issue. So whether you say it to them in front of a crowd or in private, just let them know this one thing. Just say, you know, I know what you're doing. I know you behind it. Just let them know. I know you're doing this, but it's okay. Just say, just keep it short and sweet with them. When you say things like that in response to the smear campaign, the narcissists, they don't know what to do with it. Now you're confusing them. Now you're beating them at their own game, and you're not even trying to. You're not participating in this game that they love to play. But that's all you have to say. Keep it short and sweet. Look, I know that you behind all this, but that's okay. Some people, they'll say stuff like, the hole you digging for me, you better be careful, because you're going to fall right in it. Some people use God. They'll say, God sits high and he looks low. He see everything that you're doing, and he's going to deal with you in due time. You could fool the people around you, but you could never fool God. That really hit them where it hurts, because that's something that they cannot avoid. They know it's true. They know what they're doing. So don't argue with the narcissist at proving yourself to be innocent. Say your piece and leave it at that. You know, because they've already warned everyone that you're going to try to deny it. but you don't even have to deny it. You could kind of be 10 steps ahead of them just by staying silent and not playing the game with them at all. The smear campaign is a game. Basically, that's all it is, just to see how you're going to respond. And it's a punishment, but it's the game they play because they're going to tell more and more people these lies and spread these rumors about you. And it's going to get worse. The bigger the lie and the rumor is, the more, it's going to get worse. They want it to really affect you. Now, there are ways to protect yourself if it starts to affect your livelihood. Of course, there are ways that you can get the law involved to protect yourself to stop it. You can get a cease and desist and serve the narcissist. It's worth the try. Don't ever just give up on the chances of trying to maintain peace for yourself because it's all worth it. But what is not worth is just fighting the narcissist because they already they already build up an army of people to have their back, which goes to show they need all those people to bring just little old you down. That says a lot about how weak they are. But they didn't just get these people to bring you down based off nothing. They had to lie on you big time. They had to damn near, bring you down to your knees with these type of lies to where you'll be too weak to fight them back, but you're still standing. And that's what messed their head up, is when you give them short, sweet response. I know you behind this. You may even wink at them sometime and they get it. Give them a smile. Give them a little smirk and let them know. Now, I ain't telling y'all to go picking with the narcissist. Now, I'm not telling y'all to play these dangerous games. I want to give a quick disclaimer. I am not I'm not advising anyone to go and, put yourself in harm's way, going to confront a narcissist. But when it gets to the point where you can safely respond in that type of way, I'm going to say it again, safely. Don't get too big of yourself because you got clarity now and you ready to let them have it. No, still be silent on that part. Keep it to yourself and use strategy the way they've used strategy. And they got way ahead of you. They pre-planned it all, you know. They knew that you weren't going to be prepared for this. And guess what? They're not going to be prepared for the comeback, for the silent comeback at that. They thought that they can launch a silent smear campaign, the kind that really messes with your mind, the one that have you staying up at night, losing sleep, thinking and wondering, like, why is these people moving funny with me? Like, that why aren't anyone sitting with me anymore at the table? Everybody's separating themselves and things it just start to kind of reveal itself without anyone saying a word. Because actions speak way louder than words. You don't have to always hear it out of the mouths of those who are involved. You just see how they move funny. And then you sit back and really just think about it. Why is this just coming out of the blue? Backtrack. Like, what could have caused this? And you'll know the narcissist's name is written all over it. And it ain't gonna never make sense to those around them because a lot of times them people be for the drama. They like mess. It gives them entertainment. They're bored. They need something to look forward to. They need a part 2 and a part 3. They need the sequel. They want to know the tea. Everybody want to know the tea. What's tea? What's going on? Girl, you heard about such and such? People be all for the gossip until it happens to them. I've been guilty of that. I won't keep up with what's going on now. But what I'm not going to do is stir the pot. I'm not going to get in the midst of anything that's going to cause chaos and confusion and heartache for anyone. But I do want to be in the know, especially when it's in my surroundings. Because I want to know if something pop off, I'm going to already kind of know, how to cover myself and warn other people. Sometimes it's good gossip. You got to spread the word so they can protect themselves and stay out the way. But when the narcissist has already used their power to control a false narrative, they way ahead of you already. So the best thing to do is stay out of their way. If they want to create distance, then let them create that distance. They've done something that you really can't do nothing about, like in the moment once you realize it. But just take that time out to just let things just happen as it go until they get comfortable enough with thinking that they got their point across, they punished you. A lot of times I be thinking the narcissist is not always trying to destroy you. They're just trying to do enough to teach you a lesson so that you can straighten up for them, and you know they have you back. They trying to have their way with you. That's what it all come down to. But once they see that you gone for good, they're gonna try to destroy you, but they can't because it's a mindset thing. You're not receiving that. You don't even give them, you know, you don't give them the type of glory of thinking, you know, like you can really do that to me? You will do that to me? No, they can't. Again, give them short, sweet answers. When they threaten you because they know you're gone for good, and let them know, well, if that's how you feel, that's how you feel. Sometimes you just gotta leave them looking at you like, and remember all those times when they left you on red, or they gave you the silent treatment instead of communicating? Now it's your turn to do that to protect your peace. Now that's every bit of worth it. So that they can know, I don't have nothing for you. I don't want to beef with you. I don't want to fight with you. I don't want to deal with you. Not even to fight with you. You got to get that point across to them. But you don't have to fight them to get the point across. That's the thing about it. Just know how to pick your battles with the narcissist. Because they already know, and those around them who fell for it, that time will come when they will see that it was all a lie. And if they're a real one, then they would apologize for you if it caused you any harm on their behalf. Because that'll be the right thing to do. But at the same time, don't expect anything out of anyone. And don't play with a narcissist in a dirty little game, because you're going to get dirty right along with them, and they not worth it. They are not worth it. And if things get just a little bit too out of control, then, again, if it's affecting you in a very bad way, you might have to make a statement clear enough to the narcissist and let the people know, just what's really going on. Give them that one and final warning. Y'all don't know this person like you think you do, but okay. I will keep it short and sweet with them too. Don't be long-winded with all them, because some of them, just remember you're doing it to keep your peace, not to be a part of the game, and not to pull them from one side to your side. You don't need nobody on your side. Always remember that. Clearing your name is not to get them on your side. You don't need to play a part of that game with them, because if it was up to the narcissist, they'll keep it going. They live for a reaction, good or bad. So they don't care if people would step away from them and start to defend you, they don't care because now they're going to try to destroy that person. They're going to go up against that person. And then that person going to feel what you've been feeling in silence. But everybody don't respond to a smear campaign. They don't respond to all these narc tactics the same way. Some people are really get with them with the biggest hearts, people with the most empathy. They'll get with you now. Like, don't take my kindness for weakness. Don't think that I'm quiet, but I'm scared. Like, I really can get with you on something if I have to, if it have to come to that. Because they don't care, good or bad, it gives them supply, you know, and knowing that they still have control. Because what they gonna do is play those games like, y'all see them? Oh, they on their side now. I should have known I couldn't trust you. Stuff like that. Stuff that we see in the movies. When two sides are going against each other, or one side is just defending themselves, but the other side is trying to bring them down, trying to have dictatorship over them. And they need to, see who's the weakest among them. But just because you stand up for the right thing, that does not make you weak. They actually make you strong because you're going to the right side, even if that right side is standing alone with very few. That's what it's all about, because not only one, the weight is lifted off your shoulder, and then you see clearly now, like you really know what's going on. You've learned something. You can grow from just going along to get along. Like you learn to see things differently, and you learn to move different. You don't be so quick to prejudge someone. My mom used to always say, find people out for yourself. And I'm talking about, I've been hearing this since I was a child. I always heard my mom say that. And it took me to go through dealing with a narcissist and how they turn people against you to really get the full understanding. Like, oh, I see that now. I see her message within that. Shoot, kind of like she probably knew I was going to grow up and have to end up going through this way after she had passed. Narcissists, they have a dirty mind and they don't play fair because they don't know how to lose. So they're going to always be out for revenge, even when it's not warranted. But no one should ever try to think of a way to harm someone just because they can't control them. That's when you know that there is a deep psychological issue with this person that needs to be looked into. And we talk about narcissists, but they're going to always be in denial as long as they can control that false narrative. They don't care how much damage it causes another person. They don't care what they lose behind it, as long as they lose it by bringing you down. That's how they operate, you know. But just know that you are worthy of vindication, but it will come at a price and in due time. Just stand strong. Just remember how to fight this battle. You got to be smart about it, and you have to be patient about it. It takes a lot of patience to deal with a narcissist and everything that comes behind them punishments. It takes a lot of patience. It takes a lot of patience. Eventually, they will be exposed for who they are. And as hard as it may be for you, you know, you you gonna have to have patience. Because I've seen it to where people had it going in their favor for so long because they gave it to God. And then they up and lost patience. And they decided to take the battle up on their own. And things got worse. And they gave the narcissist all their power back. I seen it happen. I recently just seen it happen. And I'm like trying to tell them, you can't fight this person. There is an evil within them. They fight different. They think different. They feel different. They're not thinking like you and I. They don't have the heart like we have. So they're not going to feel that hurt that you feel, which causes you to want to, confront them because they don't care. They're going to constantly be in denial. They're going to play victim. They're going to blame you. They do a lot of shift blaming. Like, it ain't going to ever be what you think. So you're kind of driving yourself crazy and you're wasting time. You wasting your time. You had it right where it needed to be. You should have let it played out, but you didn't. You got impatient and you let them get the best of you. And a lot of times we do that. I've done it, but I learned from that, to where I could warn other people that's not the right way to deal with this. I'm telling you now, as hard as it is. As hard as it may be, you're going to have patience and you're going to have to stay out the way and keep silent. You just got to know when to respond, when to fight back. You got to know how. God going to give you the tools to deal with this when you can on your own. Because this one here is big. This is different. You're not fighting a normal person. You're fighting an evil spirit. It's a spiritual thing. And you don't have the weapons like you think you do. Oh, I'm going to go and tell them a piece of my mind. That's not going to get anything to change. It's not going to change a darn thing. Got to have the patience and wait for that time to come. Because it will come. And for those who are too, you know, stuck into the narcissist and got too much of a connection with them now to see things for themselves, well, that you might have to call that a lost cause. Like, you can't worry about that. A lot of people end up losing close friends, other close associates and connections, something that they thought would never come to an end. Even family. Some people had to cut off. You got to look at it as you had to cut them off. Even though in their mind, they were playing a narcissist game. They had to use the narc strategy. And they didn't want to do that. But they were they were in too deep with the narcissist under that narc control. That's the only way that they were able to survive that situation between you, the narc, and them. The narc is always in the middle. Got to, divide and conquer. They're good at using that. And that puts that person over there who you were once close to in a difficult position. And they also, they don't know what's going on and they don't have the strength and the clarity to see that, that you could knock this out of the way in your mind. A lot of times people are afraid of the narcissist because of their physical strength, their psychological power, and other things that they could do to control them and punish them. So I do kind of understand it that way, but again, sometimes you just gonna have to look at that as something that you just got to look over and let go of. You gotta eventually get over the fact that you gonna lose some people once you stand up to the narcissist a certain way. And again, quick disclaimer, I'm not advising anybody to go and confront a narcissist, fight a narcissist, none of that kind of stuff. I'm not saying defend yourself in any way possible, especially in a physical way. I'm not advising anyone to put themselves in any harm's way dealing with a narc. Just rewind the video Just hit the replay, so you could get the full version of everything that I just said. Because some of those people, they'll just be stuck in that unfortunate situation. They're a prisoner in their own mind, and they are a prisoner of the narcissist. But what they fail to realize is they have more control over themselves than they think. It's a little bit more comfortable for them to subject themselves to that because they know what they would have to go through because they witnessed what you had to go through. Trust me, they know. They know. Because a lot of times people will go on and kind of like distance themselves. Things happen to where you just kind of become distant with someone, even a narcissist, who you once were so close to and so into the smear campaign and right along with everything they was doing, being a yes man, just all for it. But you become so distant to them to where that's a thing of the past. And now you see the person you were doing that to, but that person didn't forget. Just like that person did not forget the narcissist. You think they're gonna forget who was a part of the smear campaign to bring them down? You know, you weren't just there, you was like really standing on business with the narcissist. People not gonna forget that. And they just think that they could pop back up and like, hey, I remember you and how you been, like keep it short, sweet still. We gonna stay on that energy. Hey, hello. Yeah, well, okay then. I gotta go now. You don't even have to say it's nice seeing you, cause you know you ain't gonna feel like that. No, I wouldn't. And I don't care about, oh, you don't hold grudges. I'm not holding grudges. I just don't forget. And I feel like until there's a conversation and people admit to what they were a part of that really affect you, then maybe, but until then, it really don't even matter. You know what? That was like 10 years ago. We don't gotta talk about it, you know, unless it's super meant to be. If it's really meant to be, then it'll happen. Until then, I'm not trying to force any connections with anyone in the past that was a part of trying to bring me down, period. So, you know, just gotta think about that. Some people just gonna be a lost cause. And they gonna be so quick to forget what they did to you, and they gonna be expecting you to forget. Like, I don't forget, but I'm not like holding nothing against you to the point where you got to go back and fix what has happened because we're so far gone from there. Like, I'm not on that. You moved on from that. And that's the only thing that matters. You don't even got to explain it. Just be about it. So, just gonna have to learn to forget about them sometime because it's just really not gonna be worth your time. And that's really all I wanted to talk about is how to deal with the silent smear campaign because it happens and a lot of people they may be like, well, just because you feel like that doesn't mean that that's what's happening, or though that doesn't mean that that's what they're all about or what they're trying to do to you. But a person who really got like a strong discernment, a person who, you're real intuitive, like you got that gut instinct that you just can't get past the thought of knowing, like, I knew it. Like, things just come so clear to you. Like that clarity moment that give you chills. You know, that's what I'm talking about. I'm just saying it's a silent smear campaign. So the narcissists, they control the people by keeping them in silence and don't say nothing and just don't say nothing to her. But at the same time, let's keep this rumor going. So those who are way further on the outside, yeah, they talking about it. They keeping you as a hot topic in a negative way. They painting a super bad picture of you. But the ones right there in the immediate circle alongside the narcissist, you know, they're in it too. They right along with it. They're just more quiet, more silent about it. But they're giving you the eye and the feeling when you're around them. It gives you that feeling, that cold, negative feeling, like you just know, like you can feel them. They're not even comfortable around you because a lot of them are so afraid of the narcissist. They are so under control. They can't contain how they really feel. They got a nervousness about them. Like, like they can't keep still, but they don't want to, like, you know, they don't, their first thought is not to attack you. I'll just say they don't want to attack you, but it's just a part of the program they're in. It's a part of the assignment they've been put on. So that's just how it is at times. Yeah, it kind of gets deep with that smear campaign, you know, because it is a spiritual warfare. It's something that, you know, you have to have a certain vision. You have to have that spiritual vision to see it. You have to have the spiritual vision to see a silent smear campaign. Because the narcissists, they're not going to always be out loud with the plan to attack. They're not going to always make the announcement. They're not going to give you the warning. But you just going to eventually pick up on what's going on around you, which tells you you're not crazy. Even though they putting that out there, but you know you're not crazy. You see them. You know they are behind it. Yeah. You say, hey, you don't belong here. You say, you handle a silent smear campaign by not trying to defend yourself and explain things. Yep. That's the best way to do it. Until it comes to the point where push comes to shove and you just absolutely have to defend yourself in certain ways, like when it's messing with you financially, it's causing a hardship or something like that, you know. There's certain ways that you still gonna have to respond. You're gonna have to fight them at some point, but you just gotta know how to do it. Because I'm not totally against fighting the narcissist back. We're not fighting, defending yourself, to put it in better terms for YouTube. Because, these certainly words on YouTube is so sensitive. They will get on you about it. What's this? What is this? Hey, EDBD. Every time I see the EDBD, I'm like, oh yeah, it is. Like I'm saying, what does say? Share your referral link. New to streaming. Are looking for the level up. Check out StreamYard and get $10. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's for y'all. That's for y'all. Mm-hmm. So, guys, I'm gonna go ahead on and get off of here and get myself situated in this beautiful evening and get ready to enjoy my weekend. Didn't go so good last week. I wasn't so hot. I wasn't feeling too good. I was exhausted. And this week, kind of the same, but I don't have other things to do. So I could take that time to just relax tomorrow. But I'm going to be back on tomorrow. And I'm probably going to post a few shorts tonight. So look out for those. And again, y'all, please like the video and y'all come in. Hopefully, y'all was able to get something from this. Because I don't think I ever talked about the silent smear campaign in that way. we just normally talk about the smear campaign for what they say out loud, what they, what they do after warning us, that they gonna teach us a lesson. But the one that we don't see coming, there's a way to deal with that one as well. And it's kind of like the regular smear campaign. Where you don't say nothing, you know. Because the narcissists, they just want to mess with your head. They want to see, are they able to really get inside your mind and mess with you that way? They always get a thrill out of knowing how something is going to affect someone once they just get to that point where they just don't care for the moment. And it's crazy that a lot of people who have gone through that with a narcissist have went through so much, have lost so much, and still gave them a second chance. That's the sad part. That they evil behinds, they just don't care. They will stop at nothing. So again, I want to thank y'all for watching. And I'm gonna go ahead on and get off of here now. And I'm gonna see y'all in the next one.